Says I'm live. Okay. What I worked on Friday, was photographing another one of these paper animations. Like how it looks. I have found that for like small transitions, I really like seeing the layers, like in this one up here with the angled cuts, or the number of cuts that are there, and just sort of things moving slowly as much as I do like seeing shapes and such. But what I wanted to mess with this music a little bit because it's more energetic. There you go. I wanted to mess with the idea of having two animations sort of running simultaneously, where in the past what I've messed with is having like it already cut out where you have like intersecting elements, but I wanted to see what it was like to cut out the same animation twice and then flip it so that the movement will be in one direction and the other direction, but it'll be stacked slightly. I don't know how it'll work. It will work, but I'm not sure how well or exactly how it'll go about, but that's what I'm doing today. It also has fewer frames overall. This is only 16 frames, and it's 32 slices, but 16 frames because it's repeating twice. It's repeating once, so it's occurring twice, but you have things that are moving in either direction because you have two separate things. Anyway, I'm going to set up my camera and then start photographing. This ideally moves faster, but I'm not sure because I haven't. What I'll be doing each time that I'm moving or advancing in the animation, I will be taking two layers of paper at a time, and that may or may not add some issues for just how it behaves physically or not. I don't know. But that's what I'm trying out. So I'm going to move the mic, get my camera turned and such, and start clicking, taking some photos.
Here's the city where you wake up in the morning to greet Michelangelo and spend the rest of the day roaming through the Renaissance, from Florentine gold to the fabulous foodstuffs and wines of Tuscany, plus more marvelous classical art than exists in any other city. An ordinary dress or suit into a special outfit. I always make a mental note to remember to tie my own sweater around my shoulders the way I see so many Italians do. The truth is, I've often tried to do it, but somehow no one has yet mistaken me for Marcello Mastroianni. with their gold-lettered signs and brass scales. On the second floor, walk up or take the escalator. There are aisles full of irresistible artichokes, zucchinis, eggplant, and carefully orchestrated rows of peaches, melons, oranges, and figs, all looking like an Italian still life painted in a Tuscany vegetable garden. Note the Signora at my pensione what to do about the problem, and she showed me this gadget about the size of half of a bar of soap with a grid on top. You plug it into the wall, put an insecticide, it's odorless, a tablet on the grid, and you sleep that night. I guarantee that no one else on your block at home will own one. an atmosphere. It's not that the heating of the fine olive oil of Tuscany is in any way oppressive, rather that taste buds tend to be aroused very early during late morning roamings, so considerations of lunch tend to quickly overwhelm all other considerations. This is a Tornabuoni. This is the Florence equivalent of New York City's Fifth Avenue, and it runs for 6 blocks due north from the Arno and the Ponte Santa Trinita. Here's where the most elegantly prestigious shops are found, bastions of such internationally renowned designers as Armani, Buccellati, Ferragamo, and Valentino. Just like Tuscan sunsets. The Via Tornabuoni is not without its share of cafes and bars, practically an Italian institution. Coffee in Italy comes in all sorts of permutations. Caffè normale. They say that 40% of all the great art in Western civilization is located within the boundaries of Italy, and there's no doubt that a good percentage of that treasure is anchored in Florence. Between the Piazza della Signoria and the Arno River is the famous Uffizi, housing what may be the world's largest and finest collection of Italian and European paintings from the 13th through the 18th centuries. The hot chocolate and the tray of little cakes here also rate bravos. But it's also the combination of the sensual and the historic on the Piazza della Signoria that is truly remarkable. You sit at Rivoire and face the Palazzo Vecchio with Michelangelo's larger-than-life David gleaming against the brown stones, and then at right angles is the Loggia de Lanzi, where Perseus stands holding the head of Medusa. By the way, the David statue is very beautiful, but it's nonetheless a fake, one of two identical frauds set in prominent places in the city. In theory, Florence was a democratic republic in the 15th century, governed by members of her trade guilds. In fact, Cosimo the Elder and the rest of the Medici family controlled the entire city.
We continue now on the other side.
guild signori were elected and served for a period of 2 months, during which time they lived in the palace. The palace was designed to prevent any takeover by extremists, and any subversive activity could be seen from its tall watchtower, where the great warning bell was located. Bridge in the early morning before the jewelers have unpadlocked their shops, and when the light glows with pastel hues of brown, yellow, or red, or whether you wander across when the bridge is a hub of spirited bustling and bargaining, complete with our
Hello. Waiting for... Ooh, that's not what I wanted. Let's exit out of that. Oh, that's not what I want. I want this one. Overall, this should move a little bit faster because I'm copying fewer images over, because this is a loop of 16 as opposed to 24 or 32, which is what I've been working with previously. However, the total number of frames, it takes as long to cut out because I have doubled up layers, so it's 2 of frame 1, 2 of frame 2, 2 of frame 3, so on and so forth. So there's a total of 32 slices of paper. For the actual photographs, it's only 16 per loop. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should have 16 times 6. That's 32 times 3, 96 images. Meow, meow. Waiting for stuff to load up.
With functional, irresistible objects. Notebooks, address books, diaries, accordion files, portfolios, photo albums, picture frames, paperweights, bookends, all covered with papier couvé, a marble...
Okay, popped up. Sorry, got distracted on my phone. Alright, so there should be 96 of these. We'll find out. I don't think I doubled up. It's far more likely that I skipped one, but... Oh, yeah. It's 96. Okay, now it's importing. In the past I've had as many as 120 to... No, I've had more than that. I've had like 160. I'm not sure. Next stage after importing is to organize the files a little bit so that I can import them individually. It's easier to manage ahead of time as opposed to after the fact. Bum ba dum ba dum. Alright, I want to lock that for the time being. Imported? Yeah. Okay. Don't need this. Don't need that on. I can reconnect my keyboard. And let's organize these files a little bit. Actually, let's load in one of these loops so that I can just have that playing while I'm organizing the rest. Automate.
That's the time when the grounds are nearly deserted.
Scripts, load files.
Designed for Cosimo I's wife, Eleanor of Toledo, the Italian-style terraced
Browse.
garden is studded with ilex and cypress,
Desktop,
unusual statuary,
love
grottos
designs.
and fountains, and
Double angle. And grab. This is 16. After those load in, overall, this should be a little bit faster of a process. Crop this down. Let's make sure that there's not so much works okay. I don't know if it's my favorite, but see what this looks like and then go from there. Crop it down to save these out. Save this one out. This is one. I've gone back and forth by whether or not I name the first image as 0 or as 1. Going a little slow. At speed and at slight distance, this takes on a different appearance that looks surreal.
The complex is comprised of 3 separate
now let's
structures.
organize my files a little bit so
The
you can
bell
watch that
tower and the
guy.
baptistry. This cathedral
15,
of Santa Maria
that's
del
16.
Fiore, clad in geometric squares and rectangles
Folder.
of marble in white, green, and pink, is crowned by a
This
magnificent
is
red dome designed by
01
Brunelleschi.
overhead. To the top 01. Oh, 03, top 3, top 02, and this is a folder of 04, right, 01, should have 2 more. Five, right, 02, and this should be 16, and folder. folder. 06. Oop. She left. Okay, files, scripts, load files on a stack. I'm curious about what this looks like closer up. Two, top of one. Let's just do all of them. Load it up. Okay. Create frame animation, make frames from layers. Crop this in a little bit. Slide angle. Pull this down. And give it a moment. Height 540. Switch that up. Let that change scale. Other 0.0666.
Cosimo the Elder to that of Lorenzo the
Black and
Magnificent.
white.
Painters such as Fra Filippo Lippi ate with the family and even had studios in the Medici homes. Cosimo.
Let's save this out. Two. And see what this looks like here. Live designs. There's an interesting pacing about it. It's not my favorite, but I'll see what it looks like in other stuff. It might. I think the multiple layers can work. I'm just not sure if this is the best animation for it. I'm curious what this one looks like. animation, make frames from layers. Adjust the size. I think it looks good as the whole thing, so 540 wide.
Across
think
the square
what
is
might
the
get
Spedale
lost a little
degli
bit
Innocenti,
is
the first foundling hospital in the
the
world.
depth of it all,
Out in the garden, tiny children
because
romp
it's
around on the grass
alternating
watched over by
what's
young
below it,
nursemaids.
so you don't have as clear a sense of layer by layer by layer by layer. It's interesting, not my favorite, but maybe I'll like it later. I don't know. Sometimes the things that I'm like, because it's not what I had anticipated, people like better because it's something different. Or the thing that I dislike about it has to do with the fact that it's not as clear, but other people aren't as focused in on it conveying the process as clearly. They're just like, this is interesting. And that's not always what I'm focused on. This looks a lot more like flashing lights or something. Let's grade it to looking like. Crop this a bit. This is
There is a 7-course tasting menu,
yeah.
which will allow you to sample a variety of the wine cellar's
Shouldn't be taking
offerings.
this long.
For less formal dining, look in at Otello or at the 13 Gobi. But now, before the sun sets, take a taxi.
And I need to force quit. Sometimes it freaks out for scaling stuff, and I don't know why. See if it freaks out again. Seems like it might be. I don't know what's up with this. I'm not doing anything that I haven't done like 5 times already in this stream. But it is failing to crop this stuff, or to scale it. Ugh, that's annoying. Let's just try to jump into the last one, skipping over that right angle, and just come into live designs, double angle, not GIFs, stills, grab all these, load them up. Mm-hmm. 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 Kind of snap, and I don't know why. Not from overhead, but on. I guess it just has to do with how they're being laid down, maybe. Or how tight I was on some stuff. just for the time being. Spiel time. Turn down this tape a little. If you want to buy stuff from me, you can go to my web store, traceloops.com/store. If you want to purchase something and have it shipped outside of the U.S., you can email me, traceloops@traceloops.com. You can also email me with comments, concerns, questions, curiosities, commissions, etc., etc. Again, that is traceloops@traceloops.com. If you want to watch this stream or other streams in full, you can do so by going to my YouTube channel, go into the live section. If you want to follow me on other platforms, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, Spotify, all of those places. I'm Traceloops, TRACELOOPS. And if you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Traceloops, where you will find high-resolution versions of artwork that I create during streams. You'll also find a selection of tutorials. Then at higher tiers, new songs from me weekdays, and at the highest tier, you get a monthly postcard from me with the original artwork on the front, little message on the back, and a discount to that aforementioned web store. Yeah, that's it for today. Maybe streaming tomorrow, but maybe not. Definitely not streaming Thursday or Wednesday. There's a chance that I'm not streaming again till Friday, but that'll give me some time to maybe make some other more intricate cutout something or others. But yeah, hope you have a nice day, and I'll plan on being back at least Friday. Have a good evening. Adios.